And what I posted when I shared it was, Jesus has one love language, and that's obedience. And that's obedience. You want to show your love for God, because that's who we should be showing our love for first and foremost. Then be obedient. Don't go affirming all these things that God spoke against. Don't go affirming all these things that the Bible specifically, describes as sin. We I understand, but we want to be, what's the new word, empathetic, and everything like that. But yeah, it does them no good if we're reinforcing their trip to hell.
I think of Ezekiel. He said that I'm going to send you to a people that are stiff-necked, circumcised of heart, and they're not going to listen to you. And I'm going to send you. You're not afraid of their faces. And if you warn them and they don't repent, their blood is upon their heads. If you don't warn them, their blood's going to be on your head.
Yeah. Yeah. The most loving thing you can do for a friend who's drunk is to tell them, don't get in a car.
There you go. And people are heading towards a cliff, Phil. I mean, they're literally heading towards a spiritual cliff that leads to death. And we have so-called ministers of the gospel that are encouraging people to continue down that path. What do you think about it?
I think a lot of times in ministry, actually anybody that's trying to serve God, we can normalize sin. We get so familiar with it
In our own lives.
that it's so easy for us to excuse it. It's so easy for us to, it becomes our, we would call it the pet sin, that it's just so accustomed to it that it's just like every day. And I thank God for this, because for his grace, that he still speaks. If you're reading his word, when you're praying, we don't have to stay in that. But I think that there's a danger. You talked about ministers, I think, in congregations are not being bold and they're normalizing it. You just talked about somebody affirming something, affirming a perspective that's not a declaration of the word. Is contradictory, actually.
It really is. And even in our own lives, to recognize sometimes we can focus on what's going on in our world that's so dark that we get our eyes off our own garden. We got weeds growing in our own garden. So we do have to be careful that we're not doing that. So there's ditches on both sides, like so many principles. We could stick our head in the sand and not focus on what's going on in our world. We don't want to say anything because we're afraid to speak out against darkness and evil because we might get pushed back.